New York.
Expanding horizons and people a chance to really understand. That's Nightly News for this Thursday. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
NBC News, streaming free now.
Queen of country music.
Legend in the industry.
Reba
McEntire is bringing a huge punch to the knockouts.
Three big boys out of a little old bitty gal.
Did my toupee fly off?
The Voice, new Monday.
Hi, have you seen that realtor with all those billboards?
Hold my beer.
What?
Get local, award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay.
Get the nutritional support your family needs. Call the Family Food Helpline. Live on NBC 12, this is Newswatch 12 at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic.
And I'm Dan Hagan. Family and friends gathered to honor two police officers in western Wisconsin. Hunter Scheel and Emily Breidenbach were shot and killed during a traffic stop on Saturday.
David Schuman explains how the community is paying its respects.
This is hard. Saturday was one of the worst days of my life because I lost two friends.
The candles shone bright as people from Barron County and beyond crowded in tight to remember officers Emily Breidenbach and Hunter Scheel.
We are all hurting right now. We have been rocked by tragedy.
Both officers were killed last weekend during an exchange of gunfire at a traffic stop. The suspect died too.
Her and Hunter fought back. And they saved a lot of people.
They paid the ultimate sacrifice, but it's also the small kindnesses that the community won't soon forget.
I'm a cancer survivor, and she helped me through it. She told me to be strong and get through it. And as of today, I have no cancer.
She came to church, and she, picked up these thank yous that we made, and she hung out with the kids, and they asked questions.
Cameron's police chief remembered Hunter as a passionate fisherman, wild fan, and most of all, officer.
To be able to know Hunter, mentor him, bring him up, and give him the ability to do something that he loved, and he loved it.
Candles dim, but Emily and Hunter's lights never will.
Felt like mid-June out there today. A great day to be outside.
Definitely. Meteorologist Conrad Sapinski joins us now with a first look at our forecast. Conrad?
Yes, guys, it did feel like middle of June, middle of July. Also with these temperatures close to 80 degrees. We had 81 earlier today. Now we're at 79. We officially broke a record high temperature for today. That was set in 1931 of 77 degrees. We hit 81 today all across the state. Even the UP had some 80s. But look at the coast, though. There's some 30s and 40s there indicated in the blue. That's the winds blowing over the cold lake waters right now, creating really cold temperatures for us. None of that is happening. It is windy outside, though. 12-mile-an-hour winds here in town, 15 in Merrill, 17 in Stevens Point. So once again, another breezy day out there today and another one tomorrow with these really warm temperatures. Dry conditions, dried out vegetation means fire weather warnings. Down south, just south of Wausau area, we're looking at red to orange colors, which means very likely for some fire activity. So if you are having any bonfires outside or starting any fires, please take extra precautions. If you are in the counties in the red, even in the orange, those are moderate to even pretty high risks for some fires. We do have advisories, warnings out in the area, even some flood warnings just up north. A lot of melting is continuing to go on. Tonight, we're going to continue cooling off, hovering close to 49 degrees. Jessica?
A wildfire in Wisconsin has burned nearly 3,000 acres, and it's still burning. The Arcadia fire is raging around Fort McCoy in the center of the state. As of this morning, the fire was only about 50% contained. That's according to the DNR. The agency says 3 structures and a shed have burned, and there have been some voluntary evacuations. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Counties in the southern 2/3 of Wisconsin are under a red flag warning due to hot and dry conditions.
This quick warm-up is also causing flooding problems in northern Wisconsin. Here's a picture from the Iron County Sheriff's Office. Highway 2 west of Hurley was partially closed due to snow rapidly melting and causing flooding. Some local roads in Iron, Ashland, and Bayfield counties are closed right now because of the flooding. Drivers are asked not to attempt to drive through flooded portions of road.
The man accused of firebombing a prominent Wisconsin anti-abortion group's office has pled not guilty. Investigators say 29-year-old Raidindu Ruchadri from Madison is accused of throwing 2 Molotov cocktails at Wisconsin Family Action last May. On Tuesday, he entered a not guilty plea to 1 count of attempting to cause damage by a fire or an explosion. One of the firebombs thrown into the anti-abortion group's office failed to ignite, and the other set a bookcase on fire. No one was in the office at the time. Investigators connected Roy Chowdhury to the crime after getting a sample of DNA from a partially eaten burrito and matched it to the crime scene.
With the summer travel season approaching, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is reminding drivers to focus on the road. The DOT is launching its new distracted driving campaign. The first video talks about a trooper whose squad car was hit by a passing semi and nearly killed him. They are reminding drivers to avoid distractions like phones, other electronics, and food. According to the DOT, more than 10,000 crashes involve distracted driving every year on Wisconsin roads. And just last year, 40 people died and more than 2,700 were injured.
Starting on Monday, the city of Rhinelander will be closing the intersection of Oneida Avenue and Lincoln Street for a construction project. It's the intersection with the Holiday Gas Station, Burger King, and Associated Bank. The area in red in the middle will be closed down. The route in yellow is the designated alternate route. The construction project is expected to last through June 5th, weather permitting. Lead is a cheap, strong, and workable metal, making it perfect to make pipes. The only problem is it's poisonous.
The EPA estimates there are roughly 9 million lead service lines for drinking water in the country. But with the help of President Joe Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, those lead pipes will start to be removed. Newswatch 12's Mohammed Abdul-Kawi went to Wausau to speak to the mayor about their lead pipe problem. Mohammed?
That's right, Dan and Jessica. Wausau was originally organized as a town in 1852, well before people realized that lead was extremely dangerous. Mayor Katie Rosenberg and other city leaders are thankful for federal support to modernize its drinking water system and make sure people can fill up a glass of tap water without fear of contamination.
Everyone should have access to clean drinking water.
Last week, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announced over $6.5 billion for states, tribes, and territories for drinking water infrastructure upgrades. Some of the money will help the city of Wausau replace lead pipes. Mayor Katie Rosenberg was thrilled when she heard the news.
I'm so excited that we have access to more funding to help replace those pipes. That was the one thing when we went to Washington, D.C. in January. We talked about, the technical support is great, but really what we need is the funding to be able to replace these at that accelerated time frame.
Wausau has over 8,000 lead pipes. Lead exposure is known to damage the brain and heart. Rosenberg believes her recent visit to the White House on the issue made an impact.
But, we had a lot of voices there, a lot of really important people who know a lot more about water than I do, kind of saying the same thing. So I think just the voices coming together saying these things was really important. I think that was the big thing.
Rosenberg says working towards safer drinking water is an investment that will pay off for generations.
When I'm gone, I hope that people still appreciate the investment that this community right now is making, including, federal and local government. So I hope that this sets us up for, lifetimes of success and water.
The city doesn't know how much money they will receive from the EPA. However, Rosenberg says they are going to work to apply for the funding with the DNR later this year. Reporting live in the studio, Mohammed Abdul-Kawi, Newswatch 12.
Thanks, Mohammed. Wisconsin is enjoying many record highs today.
Coming up after the break, we'll show you how Northwoods residents use the weather to their advantage. That's After Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
Join us this weekend in Tomahawk for the 38th annual WJJQ Home Show with Health Expo on Saturday from 9 till 4, Sunday 10 till 3 at the Tomahawk School Complex. Admission is free and sponsored by area businesses and Northwoods 92.5 WJJQ.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Save 11% on all your outdoor storage needs right now at Menards. The Suncast 8x10 resin outdoor storage shed is built with steel reinforced double wall construction, metal hinges, and lockable handles. All Suncast storage sheds are 11% off. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out, building the highest quality doors in a wide selection of styles. Get a prime steel exterior door system for just $349.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
It's spring, and Slumberland Furniture is celebrating with 20% off our low prices on gorgeous new furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus extra discounts on sofas, bar stools, accessories, and Slumbercrest mattresses. Right now, get this Ashley sofa for just $399 in your choice of 2 colors. Incredible! Did you know Slumberland has the lowest prices on Ashley product? And get an extra 20% off mattresses, too.
Winter won't last forever. Call Stern Lawn and Landscape now to plan your spring project. Stamped concrete patios, retaining walls, new yard installations, irrigation, and more. Stern Lawn and Landscape, providing great lawn services for a great price. Find us on Facebook.
Join us this weekend in Tomahawk for the 38th annual WJJQ Home Show with Health Expo on Saturday from 9 till 4, Sunday 10 till 3 at the Tomahawk School Complex. Admission is free and sponsored by area businesses and Northwoods 92.5 WJJQ.
What a beautiful day out there today. Soon the lakes are going to be unfrozen and it is going to be water skiing weather. Not quite yet though, not skiing downhill. Now we're transitioning into more of a summer feel. Soon we're going to be going to the lake and enjoying those warm temperatures. But now lots of ice everywhere. It is very dangerous though to walk on it right now as temperatures are in the 80s. So there's a lot of melting going on. I know in the middle of the lake there's still some really thick ice there. But overall, though, it is starting to weaken, so be careful, folks. I know ice fishing or just fishing in general, you want to go out there, but be careful. 2 inches or less, keep off. I'd recommend 3-4 inches and then keep off, especially with all this ice melting right now. Snowmobiles, yeah, we're done with that for now. On to next season. Cars are definitely not good to be on the ice just yet. But next season, though, we got a long ways to go. Record high broken today. 79 out there right now. Light breeze out of the southwest at around 11 miles per hour here in town. Our previous record high was 77 degrees. Wausau, same story. Records everywhere. 80s out there earlier today. Mid-80s at that. Now they are hovering at around 81 degrees, but sunshine is everywhere. We even had some 80s up north into the UP. Land O'Lakes, 80 degrees. Look at Iron Mountain, 86 degrees. So wow, even some mid-80s all the way up closer to the UP border. Very warm temperatures at that. Like I said, our previous record high, 77 degrees in 1931. We completely broke that by 4 degrees today. Over 13 and a half hours of sunshine. So we are really enjoying this time of year. For now, though, changes are on the way, folks. For now, warm air made its way up even into Canada. We're looking at 80s. Look at Ottawa right now, 79 degrees. New York City close to 90 degrees. We are warmer right now here than most of Florida. Even New Orleans is at 70 degrees right now. A little bit of rain is in the area there. For us, though, a wonderful day tomorrow. Saturday, another nice day. We will get more rain, though, on Saturday. Look what happened Sunday, though. 30s and 40s will be back as high temperatures, though. And then we slowly work our way up, warm back up into the 40s and 50s. So closer to average temperatures by middle to end of next week with those 50s moving in. But Sunday, Monday, it's going to be pretty chilly. Right now, though, it's warm, it's very dry, it's sunny, dry vegetation as well. That's why we have lots of warnings stretching all the way down from even New Mexico up north into Iowa, Wisconsin. We have some fire weather warnings out for today. They were posted yesterday as well. They might be posted again tomorrow with all those warm temperatures, dry conditions as well. The green locations here, those are flood warnings and flood watches that have been posted. Overall, things are starting to melt, snow, ice, lakes, rivers, so everything is starting to unfreeze quickly, very, very quickly. That's why some fire warnings are going to be posted tomorrow, possibly as well. More winds will be in the area. We're looking at wind gusts around 30 miles an hour down the board into Medford, Wausau, maybe a little bit lighter winds, but then south of that into the Rapids. Once again, things ramp back up again. Then we're looking at Saturday, a little bit lighter winds, but still a little bit more on the breezy end. Hey, at least it is really, really sunny outside. We don't really matter about the winds at the moment. Temperatures close to 80 degrees. We will take that any day. But changes are on the way, folks. We're looking at not only colder temperatures moving in Sunday into Monday. Cold front comes in. Rain moves in Saturday on the back end. We're looking at rain changing to some snow Sunday night into Monday. And we're looking at some pretty steady snowfall falling by the early morning hours on Monday. So maybe some accumulative snowfall will be possible. Tonight, though, 49 degrees. Mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, a wonderful day, close to record high temperatures once again. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show those chances of rain and snow Sunday into Monday. Then we're clear Tuesday into Wednesday. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. Places across our viewing area are reaching or have passed record temperatures for this week. The warmer stretch of weather has brought people outside who have been cooped up from this long winter. That includes people at Pioneer Park in Rhinelander, where some parents brought their kids out to the playground. The shade from all the tall trees are keeping the snow there a little longer, but it's not stopping two moms from Rhinelander and Three Lakes.
It's weird that there was, a bunch of snow before, like 2 weeks ago, and now it's mostly melted and 80. Enough to get a sunburn.
The snow may not be melted just yet, but that wasn't keeping people from enjoying a walk or riding a bike. Some even traveled down to Rhinelander for a picnic.
We were hoping that we could get a picnic table, that there wasn't snow. Like I said, Minocqua, we got so much snow, and so we were surprised. We said, let's go try it and see if we can get a table.
And over at Hodag Park off Boom Lake, there was some more things going on. Some electricians picked the warm stretch to get ahead of installing lights for the new amphitheater.
About 100,000 registered nurses in the United States have already left the field due to the stress and burnout caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. That's according to a survey published today by the National Council of State Boards of Nursing. Its researchers analyzed data from more than 50,000 nurses. More than a quarter of those surveyed plan to leave the industry or retire in the next 5 years. More than 60% of the nurses surveyed said their workload increased during the pandemic. Almost half of the nurses said they felt fatigued or burnt out. A local Ojibwe tribe is investing in their casino and bringing in some new flavors.
After the break, we'll have more on a local Mexican restaurant owner adding a new location in Mole Lake.
Hi, I'm Scott.
I'm Allie, and this is our family.
Are you sick of shopping for big-ticket items only to be told you need to order it out and not see it for 6 months? Or would you rather explore it in person before purchasing it? Stop in Shoulders RV Marine, where we have millions of dollars of campers, boats, power sports, and docks and lifts. If you're thinking of almost anything outdoors, sales, parts, rentals, or service,
we'd love you to think of us.
Shoulders RV Marine, across from Menards, Rhinelander.
Oh boy, would you look at that field goal he kicked right there?
That looks fantastic. Boy, it looks like you need to stop at Tomahawk Furniture and Gun.
Furniture and guns?
Now, they've got everything you need at great prices. Recliners, sofas, mattresses.
And guns?
Wisconsin is filled with Wisconsin lottery winners. Some play alone. Others play as one. Some had a feeling on the day they won, and some just gave it a shot. Last year, players won over $559 million in prizes with the Wisconsin Lottery. Whether you're a property manager from Waukesha or a retired iron worker from New Holstein, you'll find winners and more winners playing in Wisconsin.
Fishing for the best deal on a new boat and motor? Then get to American Marine and Motorsports in Shawano. Pick from hundreds of boats and pontoons in stock at the largest showroom in the USA. Then increase your power with a Mercury motor on your new dream boat. We'll beat any boat price by $500 and trade in your old boat and motor for even more savings. Book the best deal on new boats and Mercury motors at American Marine and Motorsports, Shawano.
At Len's Truck, we're all trucks all the time. Nobody has a better selection of used trucks. Ford, Chevy, Ram, GMC, over 800 of the best used trucks money can buy. Buy now and get the highest trade-in value ever at Len's. Go to lenstruck.com. That's lenstruck.com.
Len's Truck. Len's Truck. We got the trucks at Len's Truck.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
A local restaurant is opening its 6th location, but it's a little different than the previous ones.
That's because it will be the first non-native owner-owned business on Mole Lake tribal land. Alejandro Jacinto is putting the finishing touches on the updates inside the Mole Lake Casino. The former Cafe Manuman is now the newest Casa Mexicana. He's excited to bring a new food option to Forest County.
We specialize in authentic Mexican food. So for us to go out and do something completely different, it just wouldn't be in our wheelhouse. But that being said, we still want to bring back fan favorites like doing carry-out fried chicken, doing Friday seafood buffets, doing Sunday breakfast.
The restaurant will be the first traditional Mexican restaurant in Forest County. Alejandro says he's honored the tribe chose Casa to be the first non-native business on the Sakagan Reservation.
You know, for the whole community, the tribe, the Crandon, and the Forest County to open their arms and invite us, you know, it really means a lot to us.
Alejandro says the grand opening will be on Monday, April 17th. They're also planning a live mariachi band for their Cinco de Mayo celebration.
The Ojibwe spring fishing season is starting soon, and the Wisconsin DNR is reminding people of those rights and the legal consequences for people who interfere. The DNR and Ojibwe tribes work together to set a safe harvest limit for every walleye and muskie lake in the ceded territory. In the mid-1800s, the Lake Superior Ojibwe tribes ceded much of what's now northern Wisconsin to the federal government, but maintained their right to hunt and fish in that territory. In 1983, a federal court ruled reaffirming those rights, including the right to catch fish by spearing. Anyone interfering with tribal rights could be charged under several Wisconsin laws, fined up to $10,000, and sentenced up to 9 months in prison. The spring tribal fish harvest begins when the ice melts and runs through May.
Students can now get a 4-year degree in the Northwoods. Today, Nicolet College signed a transfer agreement with the University of Wisconsin-Platteville for mechanical, electrical, and industrial systems engineering degrees. Students can complete their Associate of Science degree at Nicolet, then transfer to UW-Platteville. The degrees can be completed online, so students can live in the Northwoods while working towards their bachelor's in engineering through Platteville. With this new addition, Nicolet College has brought 3 engineering degrees to the Northwoods. We'll be back with one final check of the forecast.
At Wausau Hearns Furniture, we want you to save. During the month of April, we will pay the sales tax.
Wait. I can do better than that. This April, Hearns Furniture will pay the sales tax and then some, only at Wausau Hearns Furniture.
Could you keep it down?
Oh, hey, sorry. I can't stop these kids from rocking, but I can help you replace all this.
Rock on!
With free installation on Felco windows, siding, doors, and roofing, plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. There's never been a better time to upgrade your home.
This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Good news. This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Choose FlexBuy on Explorer or Edge and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months plus 500 FlexBuy cash.
Are record high energy and water costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive. While you may not ask for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to be without heat, water, or power. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.heat.help.
At Wausau Hearns Furniture, we want you to save. During the month of April, we will pay the sales tax.
Wait. I can do better than that. This April, Hearns Furniture will pay the sales tax and then some, only at Wausau Hearns Furniture.
Eagle Floor Covering in Eagle River, locally owned and operated for over 2 decades. With over 40 years of combined quality sales and service experience, we can help you find the right floor for your lifestyle and budget.
And officially, a record high temperature has been broken for today. We reached a high temperature of around 81 degrees. Our previous record was reached 90 years ago at 77 degrees. So what a wonderful day. It's actually much warmer here than in Florida. Look at Jacksonville, 75 degrees. Miami is only at 76 right now. But there's also some negatives that come with this heat, and that's that fire danger. Lots of dry air, dry vegetation, winds blowing over, all of that, and that is not a good combination. Tomorrow's going to be another nice day outside. Into Saturday, more chances of rain, and then more chances of snow Sunday into Monday.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Thank you,
exactly.
Conrad. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Rhinelander Cafe and Pub.
After what seems like a long winter of making all